what happens behind the scenes. It's actually very boring. A lot of waiting time.
That's when you're sitting there with that bar that's...
Yeah. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Lancashire Family History Society's monthly meeting. Well, twice monthly, actually. We're doing virtual meetings while we're all in captivity or lockdown. And we are thrilled because that actually gives us a broader reach. I am Chris Woodcock, and I am helping to moderate. And I am actually in Ontario, Canada, where it is 3:05 in the afternoon. And I'm a member of Lancashire and have been for a number of years. And our presenter today is the person who normally is in my seat doing the moderating, and that is another Lancashire member, and that is Claire Wilson. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Christine. How are we?
Good. How's you?
I'm good. Good, yeah,
good.
Busy week. How is the weather in Canada this week?
Do you know what? We've been really lucky. We've actually had spring weather. It's been up like 19, 20. I know because it's only March, it's not going to stay because we're in Ontario, but it feels like hope.
I think our weather got a bit better, but it's supposed to dip actually this weekend. It's supposed to get a bit frosty at the weekend. So yeah, just when you think things are getting better, it just dips again.
Do you have flowers and stuff out? Yeah, we don't.
My daffodils actually are struggling a bit this year. They're not, I see them other places, but they're certainly not in my garden yet.
They've put their head up and they've said, no, we're still in lockdown, no point.
Yep, exactly. So tonight, sorry, on you go.
I was just going to say, Claire's going to talk to us about getting started on Facebook and using Facebook as a resource for genealogy.
Yeah, if I could just ask, I'd be interested actually to know who actually has a Facebook account. So if you want to go into the chat and just type in the chat yes or no, it just gives us a feel for how many people actually actively use it. I did this talk actually for Glasgow and West of Scotland earlier on in the year, and had, I think, about 4 or 5 members message me after that to say thank you very much, because they'd been a bit scared of how to use it, how to navigate it. So I think, the fact that the video was in their members area as well, they were able to go back and look and check how to do things. So it shouldn't be something that you're scared of. Let's have a look. What are we getting here?
Yeah, a couple of people who do, some who not yet.
Yeah, could be missing out on something if you don't, because it is a great resource. We will start from the very, very beginning and go through showing you how to set it up. Just a couple of points actually to mention. The SAFS conference, which is the Scottish Association of Family History Societies, they're holding their annual conference on the 17th of April. The difference this time is that you don't need to go in person, as the way that it usually is. You can actually do it online, which means that anyone from even overseas can actually attend that. And it's on between 9 o'clock and 5 p.m. British time. We will talk more about that and what talks are going to be at the next meeting. The next presentation that we'll actually have is the 8th of April at 7 p.m. and it's Jim Anderson on the presentation is entitled The Money Box. It's all about the items that you might have in your home but you're not aware that they're even there. Jim found an old money box in his home, and he is a member of Larkhall District Volunteer Genealogy Group. After he shared the contents of the box with the group there, they just said, you need to really do a talk on this, because it was quite amazing, the information that actually was contained in this box. And when I had a chat with Jim, the interesting thing, Christine, was the box that he actually had, the box that the family documents that my great-grandfather owned were in as well. The exact same box.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I know. So wow. It makes you wonder, did everybody have the same standard box?
Yeah, exactly.
And basically use, the same box. So yeah. So if there's nothing else,
I've had a couple of people just message me directly saying that they do have.
Right. Okay. And some of the beginning of this talk might be a bit basic for you. You might already know it, but for those of you that haven't used Facebook, then it will start at the very beginning, and we'll take any questions at the end. So if you have any questions, put your mouse down at the bottom of the screen and you can actually type a question in if you have any questions as we go through it. So I think we'll get started.
Claire, you're on mute.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today. My name is Claire Wilson. I am a professional genealogist with Treehouse Genealogy, and I'm based in central Scotland. This talk was produced with family and local history societies in mind, as I've often found when speaking to members that they tend to shy away from social media, not realising that it can actually be used for research purposes. I don't know if it's perhaps a bit of a fear of the unknown, but social media, in particular Facebook, can be a powerful addition to your research toolkit. It contains a mass of groups that can assist our research, and the members of those groups are not only passionate about their subject area, but they're also knowledgeable. So we can actually draw on that information and that knowledge. So we will start off by looking at what Facebook is, how to set it up and navigate it. So don't worry if you've never used Facebook before. And then we'll have a look at some of the pages and the groups to give you an idea of the type of content that's available. So Facebook is a social networking website where users can post comments, share photographs and post links to news or other interesting content on the web. You can chat live and you can also watch short videos. Apparently you can actually order food on Facebook as well, but it's not something that I've ever done myself. The shared content can be made publicly available, or it can be shared only among a select group of friends or family, or a single person. It's up to yourself. So Facebook was founded in 2004, and their mission is to give people the power to build communities and to bring the world closer together. People use Facebook to stay connected with friends and family, to discover what's going on in the world, and to share and express what matters to them. I certainly find it has been really useful in keeping in touch with friends and family overseas, where you used to have the odd email or Christmas cards and a letter at Christmas time. We tend to share a lot, chat a lot more using Facebook, and it certainly, I would say, has brought our family a lot closer together. So Facebook has 2.7 billion monthly active users. 1.79 billion of those log on to Facebook daily and are what Facebook consider to be active daily users. In Europe, there are 387 million people on Facebook. The average user spends 38 minutes per day on Facebook's website, and seniors are the fastest growing group. Of Facebook users, 62% of online seniors aged 65 plus are on Facebook. 72% of their users are between 50 and 64, and there are actually fewer teens using Facebook now than in previous years. I certainly find that a lot of teenagers and people in their 20s tend to be moving over to Twitter and Instagram and dropping Facebook more recently. So over 1.4 billion people use Facebook groups, and there are actually more than 10 million groups on Facebook. So there's a lot of information out there. So as a researcher, why would you use Facebook? So it has a wealth of pages, as I mentioned, and they can be dedicated to localities. So you can have a lot of historic groups, local history groups relating to places that you might be researching. There are surname groups, so people who are carrying out single surname studies, clan societies, etc. Industries for your research area, that might be steelwork, mining, military. I've had a lot of success certainly with military groups. Sometimes it's a great way to post images of men in uniform, and you know, the members on the group can often help decipher some of the clues in the photograph to tell you what regiment the person served with. But there are also organisations such as societies, genealogy websites have pages themselves, but there's so much more. We'll have a look at some in a minute. So Facebook allows you to keep in touch with friends and family, or if you happen to have lost touch with an old friend, you can try and have a look and see if you can track them down. It allows you to network with people with similar interests. I've certainly found it an easy way to keep in touch with people who have connected into my own family tree and quickly share details about things. You can join or create special interest groups. So, you know, if you have a special interest or a local history interest group and there's not a group out there already, why not create your own and invite people to join the one group? You can organise or attend special events. You can become fans. So a lot of celebrities, singers, you name it, all have their own personal pages as well. You can share photographs. You can share your life or not. It's entirely up to you. You share what you want, and if you don't want to share much, then that's fine. So to log on, if you've never created an account, you search for Facebook on Google and click on the link, which then takes you to a sign up page where you would complete your name, email address, create a password, enter your date of birth, etc. We'll obviously get an email to confirm that, you know, the email address you're using is relating to your own account, as a lot of other websites do. And then the first page that you actually get is this one. So you get to choose a look. Now this is based on a desktop PC. It might look slightly different on your phone. It's not much different, but it could be slightly different. But certainly on a desktop PC, they give you the option of a light or dark background. And then once you select that, you have a page where you can select the computer to remember your password. And at the top, you can create a story, add a profile photograph, etc. as well. So Facebook has many features. The two main ones are your newsfeed, where you will see all the posts from friends, family, the groups that you're members of. And there's also your timeline, which is your own profile, and it'll have all your own posts and the things that you wanted to share. So we'll have a quick look at the newsfeed first of all, and it looks a bit like this. So if we start on the left-hand side, at the top left-hand side, you have the search bar. So you can actually type in there, you know, a friend's name. You know, if you're interested in World War II, you can type in World War II. It basically searches for anything. And then down the left-hand side under that, you have a menu where you can quickly go to videos, marketplace, groups, look for friends. And below that, you actually have a shortcut, so you can actually add groups that you're interested in onto your shortcut menu. So if we go along the top in the middle, the one that looks like a little house is your homepage, which takes you to your own homepage. You have next to that friends. If you click on there, you can go in and and scroll through all your friends list and go to their own pages. The watch button is for videos. And then you have Marketplace, which is a lot of, there's a lot of buy and sell pages in your local area. So if you are on the lookout for a bargain locally, that's the place to have a look. And then you have your groups page. So that will show you any groups that you are actually a member of. And then on the right hand side, we have some buttons which we will actually run through on the next one. The one with the little squiggle on it is your messenger. The one with the bell is your notifications. And the one with the little arrow going down the way is where you go into your privacy settings, etc. The plus button we will come to, I'm going to show you, that's for to create a page. So if you wanted to create a new page, then you can go through that as well. And then down the centre, I've blocked some of the things out that for privacy reasons, but you can actually see I run Kilted Ancestors group, so we have a post from someone on Kilted Ancestors saying thanks for letting me join the group, looking forward to exploring their ancestors, and then they've put the names. So you would actually see going down this page any posts from friends, groups, and anyone else that come up, and this is your news feed. So the timeline, your timeline is your own collection of photographs, stories, and experiences, and it usually goes down the page in chronological order. So in here you can add or change your cover photo, you can edit your own information, you can view your activity log, add life events, update your status, and view and add photographs. So we'll have a look about at that. It looks a bit like this. So at the top you have your cover photo. You can't see it on this page, but at the top there's usually a little camera image. Oh no, it's on the right hand side, edit cover photo. So you can go in and change your cover photo. And then the little bubble one in the middle is your profile photo. You can go in there and change that at any point. Now, a thing about the photos is if you don't want to put your own photograph in there, don't. You can put anything. It could be a photograph of your dog, some flowers. You know, it's up to yourself how private you want to keep your profile. Personally, I don't have much information on mine at all, and it's set at the top privacy so that nobody can really see anything unless they are one of my friends. So if you look down the left hand side, you have the menu, which kind of sits along the top, which you can quickly go to posts, friends, photos, etc. You have edit functions where you can go in and edit your hobbies, edit your details. And then below that, you have all your photos, and you can click to go into your photo album and see all the photographs that you've recently uploaded. And then down the right hand side, you have create a post. So where it says what's on your mind, you can actually click on that and type in what you want to say. So it might be, had a lovely meal today with friends and family, and you can share it onto your profile, and some of your friends can see that and comment on it. You can include photographs if you want, and then below that you have previous posts. So that's ones that you have created prior to that. So the ones below that was a walk that I went on and took some nice picturesque photographs. So the create section, I said I would come to. So in the create section, you can actually create a page. You can create an advert. You can create a new group if you can't find one that you're looking for. You can create events. So that could be, a local charity fair that you're organising to let people locally know it's taking place, and they can make the arrangements to come. You can also create listings if there's items that you want to sell, and you can also arrange fundraisers. If you want to start raising money for charity, you can do so as well. So as I said, that is at the top right hand side, where the plus bubble is, and it gives you all the different options that you have. So you've got posts, create a story, life events, pages. You can create an advert. So if you have a business page, you can actually create an advert that would advertise around Facebook users. You can, as I say, group, event, marketplace, listing, and fundraiser. The picture on this, actually, you will notice is the cover picture and the bubble picture slightly different. I actually had to go between a new profile and my current profile to give you a good example. This is because my main profile has 3 groups, a business page, and all sorts of other things, and I really just didn't want to confuse things for you. So the friends section, so in the friends section you can search for friends with just their name or their email address, or it does throw up suggestions for you. So that could be friends of friends, or it's quite intelligent in the way that it looks at people and throws up ideas for you. So under your profile pictures, along the menu at the top, you have friends, and you can click on that. It's saying that I've got 235 friends. And down below, it's got all friends. I've blanked out their names and pictures, obviously, for privacy reasons, but it would give you all their pictures, all their names. You can scroll through it. You can click on their name, and it will take you to their profile page, where you can actually look at their profile. So Messenger. There is a messenger function within Facebook where you can directly message a friend to have a chat. Now that could be private. You can chat with a group of friends, so it could be that you're arranging a surprise party or a meetup with a few friends, and you want to chat about it as a group to arrange something. And you can also contact someone who's not on your friends list. If you are using a smartphone to use Messenger, then you need the Messenger app as well as the Facebook app on your phone to be able to do that. So Messenger is at the top. As I said, it's got a little kind of blue bubble with a squiggly line through it. And down at the bottom, you would have the list. It's blanked out, but you would have the list of all your most recent messages. If you got a new message, it would come up with a little one to tell you you've got a new message. You can click on that and read the new message and reply to it as well. So the notification section, so within the notification section, you will receive alerts regarding posts or events that Facebook doesn't want you to miss. So that might be friends' birthdays, events that you said you were interested in attending, posts where friends have tagged you, which means that they've mentioned you to make sure that you see that particular post. So people who also like your post or your images, and recent posts from pages or groups that you currently follow. But there'll be all sorts of other things in among that as well, but that is the main types of notifications that you would get. So it's at the top right hand side, and it's like a little bell bubble, and you will see then that you know, if you've requested to join a group, it will tell you you've been approved. It'll give you new friend suggestions and all sorts of other notifications that it thinks you want to see. So the help centre's there if you're unsure of what you're doing. You can get help with your page. You can carry out a privacy checkup and set up your privacy settings. You can contact Facebook support, and you can also report a problem. So when it says report a problem, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a problem in relation to a technical problem. If you have an issue with content that you see posted by someone else on Facebook, or someone has been really you know, behaviour has been exceptionally bad, you can go through Facebook and report that person for that. They tend to take these type of things pretty seriously. So it's the next one along on the top right hand side, and it's a little arrow that goes down the way. If you have more than one account, it lets you switch accounts. You can go into the settings and privacy. You can view the help and support pages. There's display preferences, which obviously would be the background colour, light and dark that we looked at. And you can also log out. So if you're on a computer that other people use, it means that you can log in and log out as and when you need to. So the privacy pages, I would certainly advise that you take some time to go through this and really think about what information you want to share with friends or friends of friends. So each section is self-explanatory. You just need to decide who sees what. If you're unsure, restrict it to only you or just your friends. It's up to you how much or little you actually share with people. And bear in mind as well that if you post on a friend's page, their friends will potentially see that post as well. So you just need to have that in the back of your mind that friends of friends may see something if you share. So this is the settings, and you'll notice, you know, down the left hand side you have security and login details, privacy, face recognition, profiles and tagging, public posts. You can block a member if you actually are having a lot of hassle with someone on Facebook. You can actually block them, and it means that they will not see your profile or any of the pages that you manage or any posts that you put on. They just will, you will just become invisible to them. You can put in your location, change language and region, stories, notifications, mobile. There's so much down that. I would just suggest certainly the security and login and the privacy. I would certainly suggest just go through that, look at each of the different options and have a think about how you want to set up your privacy, and think about what you want people to see or not see. So your about information, as I've said all the way through, it's up to you how much you include, but there are spaces to include workplaces, places that you've lived, contact details, family members, birthdays and much more. I really do not have much at all on mine. The way that Facebook works as well is the adverts that pages create can often target people who have filled some of this information in. So, you know, if you actually say that you like going for walks, then you might find that, you know, a tour company that arranges walks would be able to target ads, where when you go through your news feed, you would find sponsored adverts relating to walking companies that arrange walking tours. So I tend not to have too much in this. So this is basically your about information. So you'll see down the bottom left hand side you've got overview, work and education, places you've lived. You can actually go in and change the information and update it and edit your profile. So if you want to create a post, you can either do it on your own timeline, or if you're in a groups page, you could create a post in there as well. So you might think, what would you post about? So you might want to post about an amazing day out you had with family and friends, include a photo or a video and tag other family members so that they can see the post that you have created. You may wish to ask a question within a genealogy group. This might be relating to a historic fact or the location of a building within a town. Or you might see something on another page and wish to share it onto your own page. I often find this is a really good way. If I see something on a page and I think, I'll come back to that later on. That's really interesting. I share it onto my own page because I then know that I'll be able to find it easily. There's nothing more maddening than finding something really interesting on Facebook and then not being able to find the post again because you think there's so much out there, you just can't find it. So it's a great way. Share it to your own profile and then you'll always know where to find it. So this is actually in your own page. We showed you previously that, you know, in the middle here, there is a section where you start typing to create a post. And this is how the box looks. So in here, you can basically, it's showing you that I will only be sharing this post with my friends. I can type in what I want here. And then the little coloured buttons at the bottom, the first one is share an image. Next one is tag a friend. The next one is you can share how you're feeling. So that would be, I'm feeling happy. The little red pinpoint is places that you were. And the green GIF one is little kind of short video, videos that would show like happy faces or, you know, bouncing balls or whatever you want to have. You would need to go in and have a play with that to see what I'm actually meaning. And then once you've got your post ready, you would just hit post and it would go live onto your page and all your friends would get to see it in their newsfeed as well. So you go to another page. So I've used my own business, Treehouse Genealogy page on Facebook. So I find if you find something on another page and you think that's really interesting, I want to share it. At the bottom of the post, there is like, you can like it, you can comment if you want to comment on it, or you can actually share it. So it gives you a few options when you click on this. You can share it in WhatsApp, share it to a group, share it to a page, send in Twitter, or you can copy the link and you could actually share the link with someone, copy the link into a comment if you wanted as well. So there's a few options in there for you. So your photos and photo albums, you can add images via your phone or your computer onto Facebook, and any that are uploaded within a post will also be stored there. So if you create a post that you went out for a lovely walk and you took in a couple of lovely scenic photographs, the photographs will show up into your photo albums afterwards. So this is actually, I've not got much in this because it's the profile I set up to show you. But if you go along the menu at the top, you have photos, and the photos can be viewed down below, and you can actually set up albums. So if you wanted to create an album for a particular holiday that you were on, you can put them all into one album together and keep them all in one place. So pages and groups. There's a couple of differences between pages and groups. So a page is one that you can readily see and you can like it. When you like the page, you will see posts created by this page on your newsfeed. A group is one that you're required to join. These can either be private, so that only people who have joined can view and comment, or they can be public, but you can still join it as a member. Everyone in that group will receive a notification related to new activity in the group. But if it's a private group, you will need to join to be able to see the posts and comment. Both can be created by, you know, organisations, businesses, societies, local interest groups, celebrities, and much more. Now, a quick note on pages is that if you are following a particular, say, society page and you're keeping an eye out for a particular post for an event coming up or information coming up, the way that the algorithm on Facebook works is that it will show a comment on a page to a certain amount of people who like that page. If it gets a lot of interactions, such as comments, shares, likes, it will then show it to more people within that. It won't show it. So if a page has 3,000 members, it will not show that post to those 3,000 members. It will show it to so many, and then the more engagement that post gets, the more people it'll show to and show to and show to. Where with a group, it will throw that message up to everybody in the group that somebody has posted a new message there, or there's new activity on the group. So if you are thinking of setting up, think about setting up a group or a page. Think about what you want it to do. Do you want to make sure that all your members get the message for anything that's posted there? If so, create a group. Businesses tend to go with pages, right enough. A lot of groups, when you apply to join them, will often ask questions. This is to ensure that you have a genuine interest in the subject, and it may also advise about code of conduct, and you need to perhaps agree to a code of conduct before you join the group. So this is my own page. So it's my business page, Treehouse Genealogy. I share a lot of posts on here relating to what's new in the world of genealogy, and also I do a lot of information relating to heritage, Scottish heritage, Scottish history. So come along, like my page, and hopefully you'll pick up some tips and tricks and free offers along the way. So another good one is the WW1 Community page. This one is fab. I have used it, I don't know how many times, just for putting old photographs on, having chats, talking about war memorials. There are thousands of members on this, and I would certainly suggest that if you have a question or you're really struggling to find out anything relating to World War I, go in and post it on this page, because I don't think there's ever been anything that I haven't had the answer to. It's a fab community, it really is. Another one that I use a lot of is RAF Bomber Command crews and pictures. I do a lot of Bomber Command, World War II Bomber Command research, and just like the World War I page, this is fab. I mean, it's a lot of information relating to certain operations that the men carried out, things about the dam busters, a lot of old photographs, information about veterans that are still alive. So yeah, lots of information and lots of people knowledgeable in the subject that they talk about. And there's even, I know that there's quite a lot of guys that work at the International Bomber Command Museum are actually members on here as well. So you're tapping into a lot of knowledge. So a lot of regimental museums and organisations also have their own pages. This is the one for the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders Museum, which is based at Stirling Castle. Another great way, send them a message, post information. Yeah, I mean, a great way of interacting with some of these places, and they will point you in the direction. If they don't have the information, they'll point you in the direction of where to look for that information. Another good one is the Scottish Genealogy website. This one's really, really good. A lot of general genealogy questions, people helping to decipher old documents, local, knowledge. If you're looking for a particular street in Glasgow, a lot of the people in here will help, and it has members worldwide. So a lot of clan associations as well have pages on Facebook. They'll have updates on historical items that they've came across, clan gatherings. It's a great way of interacting, if you have a specific interest in a particular surname. There are a lot of past and present type groups. There's one for Glasgow. This is the Edinburgh Past and Present. It's a great way of, you find an address on a census, you can't work out exactly where it is. you're struggling to find it on maps, a lot of these groups are really handy to point you in the right direction, and it's a great way to share information. Another good one is mining ancestors in Scotland. Mining was, such a massive industry in Scotland. I'm sure that most of you will have miners in your family somewhere. So this is a fantastic one to point you in the direction if you are researching any mining ancestors. This one I absolutely love. About a year or two ago, I actually received a folder which had all of my grand's old recipes in it. And this Facebook page is actually a bit like that. It's people sharing old recipes and foods that you don't tend to get nowadays as well. So yeah, quite an interesting one, and probably would relate to a lot of the foods that our ancestors would have eaten. So a lot of businesses have their own pages as well. So this is the Ancestry UK page. So it's a great place to check for updates, what new information our Ancestry putting out there, what new record collections. It's a great way to interact. You can message them direct if you're having any issues with Ancestry. But yeah, pretty good online community. 23andMe, for anyone who has taken DNA tests, there are a lot of groups relating to DNA testing. This one is the 23andMe newbies. So it's a great place to go in and talk about your results and any questions you might have relating to your DNA results. The Scottish Highlander photo archive community is quite a good one as well. So it's a searchable database actually of portraits, mostly relating to people from the Highlands. It's a great way to just actually go through and see how even fashions change through time, and yeah. So I really enjoyed this one. It's actually, you could actually spend hours sometimes going through some of these pages. Ancestry UK, so the Friendly Family History group, is a free group as well, and it covers, UK-wide family history. So if you've got ancestors that are spread out throughout the UK, this might be an option for you. This one's quite interesting as well. I have seen all sorts of conversations on this one relating to, intriguing death certificates and some of the stories that relate to it. If you think that you've came across some really absurd things on death certificates, you haven't seen anything yet. Certainly from a family history point of view, it's very interesting. You get all sorts in it. And then we can't forget family history societies. So if you're a member of, Glasgow and West of Scotland, they have their own family history group. You can join in, you can interact with people, you can get help, you can send them a message direct. I use this one regular, and yeah, very, very good. And Lancashire Family History Society as well have their own page. A lot of things shared, the same as Glasgow, relating to what's new in the way of genealogy, what events are coming up, and also interaction between members to help one another out. I have three groups that I actually run from my own profile, so this is one of them. I set up the COVID Archive project during the first lockdown in 2020. I felt it was really important to preserve the memories of the people in Scotland for the next generation, whether that be through sights, sounds, video, drawings, whatever it happens to be. I would accept any contributions. So if you have any photographs of empty streets or clapping for carers or homeschooling, join the group and get involved, and let's preserve the stories of what's happening in Scotland during the coronavirus crisis for children, grandchildren of the people who are going through it now. Another one that I run is Kilted Ancestors. I set this up about a year ago. Originally I set it up so that posts could be put on social media using the hashtag Kilted Ancestors tag on the post to help find it. And what I quickly realised was that it didn't really get much interaction. And the people who did want to post in relation to it were mostly on Facebook. The only thing was that due to privacy settings on Facebook, anyone who used the hashtag but had full privacy on their page, we couldn't see the posts. So I set up a Facebook group, and I think within about 2 or 3 months we had about 500 members, and it's growing week on week. We have a monthly topic just to try and prompt research and give you ideas of things to talk about and trigger memories. And it's going from strength to strength, and we have talks regular as well. So if you have Scottish ancestors, come and join Kilted Ancestors group. The other one that I have is New Monkland Airdrie Back in Time. I set this one up as well during lockdown in 2020 because I completed a project for my uni dissertation on New Monkland and regularly carried out research in the area. So I kind of thought, well, why not? There isn't a group. Why not start up a group? And there is people from all over the world have actually joined it. I regularly share information relating to people who live in the area, businesses in the local area, etc. And then I quickly realised that it was getting a lot of interaction. Why not start a one-place study? So I've recently just started a one-place study for New Monkland Parish in Airdrie, which means that the information that I'm actually putting into this group can also be collated and put into a one-place study, and potentially people share information with that in time as well. So just quickly, as we look at this group, you will see that along the menu at the top we have about, discussion, announcements. Announcements usually in a group means that'll have the code of conduct, certain posts that they don't want you to miss, maybe highlighted posts. There's rooms, topics, you can go into members, and there's more. Now this is viewed on a desktop PC. You will notice on the right hand side there is the search facility. So if someone had gone into this group and they were interested in the name Smith and Brown, they maybe would put a note in there saying, interested in the Smith and Brown family from New Monkland, and then 6 months later someone new joins the group. They can actually go into the search function, type in Smith or Brown or whatever the name happens to be, and find previous posts that other people have actually posted. So it's a great way of searching the content that's already in that group to see if you can find connections when you join it. If you're viewing the group on a phone or a tablet, it usually is in the search bar, the one that you see in the top left of the screen. So it will usually say search in group, and you can type in there what the search term is that you're looking for. So I do in this group certainly see a lot of interaction between members who have same surnames and are discussing, I have that surname in that area, and trying to find links as well. And if you have any family in the Airdrie area, come and join the group as well. Groups also give you the chance to invite friends or family. So if you join a group and you think this group's fab, you know, I think a family member or someone else that I'm friendly with should really be joining this group, you can actually invite them to join the group as well. So have a look through Facebook, type in some search terms, look at the locality that you're interested in, and just see what groups you can actually find yourself. If anyone wants a free copy of this presentation, you can contact me via the website and I will send you on an email. The website is www.treehousegenealogy.co.uk. You can also follow Treehouse Genealogy on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest and YouTube. There is a handout that goes along with this presentation, which gives quite a lot more ideas for groups and pages just to inspire you, so certainly we can pass that out as well. I'll take any questions now if anyone has any questions.
Fabi, do you want to stop sharing your screen and we can look at each other?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Before actually we move on to the questions, if anybody has any questions, you can type them into the chat at the bottom. But before we actually do that, stop press. Christine and I are part of a fab new group. So it wasn't mentioned in the presentation because it is brand new. So I'm going to actually just quickly share my screen and let you see the new group that we're involved in. You should be all...
You've been busy in lockdown creating all these groups.
I know. I started off promoting Facebook and then ended up with four groups and a page. And my page is taking a minute to load.
You were saying about using Facebook to order food. The local restaurants here and the bakeries, that's how they're running it over lockdown, is that you just send them a message with your order.
Through Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Mm-hmm. Right, that loaded and then it went away. Let's see if we try again. There we go. So, what's going on? Right, as a business owner, I quickly realised that there was a lot of businesses during the pandemic were struggling. And I previously went to a lot of business networking, local business networking events. And what I discovered was that these networking groups were all of a sudden trying to get money out of people to try and promote their business. And I kind of thought it was a bit like a scam, during a time that these businesses were struggling. And I just kind of thought, this is unfair. What can I do to maybe make this a bit easier for people? So I had a quick word with Scottish Enterprise and had a discussion with them about the possibility of how we set up a kind of cooperative of businesses, because a lot of my clients do come from America, Canada, Australia, people who have Scottish ancestry. So in some ways, although my work is family history, you are kind of wrapped up in the tourism business. Mm-hmm. So that was the basis for setting up the Scottish Tourism Collective. Christine's a member.
I am.
Yep. And we have, what, about another 8 companies now?
Yeah, you've just added a few of them, yeah.
Yeah, so we have another 8 companies that have actually joined. We have 2 drone operators who can actually go over historic places with drones and take drone footage. So that could be something that, people abroad do for a village that their ancestors lived in, or a house that they lived in, or a cemetery. We have a Glasgow artist. We have a couple of tour companies, one that does whiskey tasting and whiskey tours. So yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of growing week on week, and we're sitting with 300 members now on the Facebook group. So if you're interested in Scotland, you love everything that Scotland's got to offer, come and join the group. get involved, you know, share images, ask questions.
And if you're planning to make a trip and you're not sure, then certainly post the question. There's enough people there that could help you out.
Yep. So it's a new project, you might say, but it's quite exciting at the moment. So
it is.
Yep.
It is.
I've gone group daft.
You're indeed. Do you know what I really like about Facebook? I mean, I'm not on it as much as I used to be, but what I really like about it is the keeping connected with family. You know, my mom was one of 20 living children. And so we're scattered all over, and being able to get, because I'm the memory keeper of the family, I'll get old photos people give me and I can scan them and put them on there. And, you know, people, because, you know, in those days, if you had a camera, you certainly didn't get more than one copy of anything. And so it's photos that people might not have seen before, but one person had it and has been holding on to it. We've digitized old movies and, you know, being able to share that. And it's just been incredible. It really helps you to feel connected.
I do the same. I've got a cousin in Australia, and do you know, it's funny because actually last night I messaged her on Facebook saying, "Do you want to hone your detective skills?" And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, my uncle who served with Bomber Command unfortunately died about 2 years after the war in a terrible motorcycle accident, but he had been engaged, and I'm trying as part of his story
to find out,
to get a bit more information on I know who the lady was, but I'm trying to get more information on her. And I've got this photograph which has 3 women and him and another guy, and they're all linked arms as if they're friends. And I sent it to her saying, "Does your mum know this lady?" And because they lived quite close to them, and you know, is this one of these women? So I'm waiting on what word coming back, because apparently she went to my aunt's wedding.
Oh, wow.
So she's going through all her wedding photographs at the moment to see if she can actually find a photograph of her.
That's awesome. The other thing that I really missed it this year, is when I'm on tour, I always find somewhere that's different to go, either on the weekends or ahead of time or after. And I post updates and, you know, help people who are not with me to be able to kind of join virtually. And that's been so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, I have people who can't wait to get up in the morning and see what I've posted. I mean, now nobody cares what I post because it's pretty boring, but when I'm away, they usually, you know, it's because it's historic for them too.
And I think as well, you know, the way that we're arranging this talk tonight, we're actually streaming it live to YouTube, but you can do the same on Facebook Live. So, yes. Christine, we got involved. You did a talk for the Kilted Ancestors group recently, and we just actually did it as a Zoom call and streamed it live onto the Facebook group, which was great.
Yeah.
And then it stays there. Yeah. So it sits there now that anyone can actually join the group and actually watch it as well. And that's something I think that we want to try and do with the Scottish Tourism Collective, is actually have museums, you know, a variation of different places throughout Scotland, you know, to come on, talk about, you know, places that you can go and visit, and stream it live onto the YouTube page as well, or the Facebook page. So yeah, I mean, it's growing all the time. It really is, the things that you can do on it.
Yeah, the potential is incredible. It really is.
It's really became massive. I mean, they've actually tapped into virtual reality now. My husband actually bought me the virtual reality headset for my Christmas. And I use it as a keep fit thing. And it's actually Facebook that run it.
Oh, is that right? Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Oculus, yeah. So you get like an app, and you can actually add on, you know, like you get like boxing games and dance ones and things like that, and you can actually, and it's like you can look right round about yourself, and it's really, really strange. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's Facebook that run that. They're branching into so many other things.
Much,
Yep. Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, stick them in the chat. I don't think we've got any so far, have we?
Yeah, we'll gobsmack them all.
No. I'm hoping that everybody's still there. Nobody's gone to sleep. Does anybody have any other questions? Maybe not.
So when we're finished this, I'll do like I did for the last one. I'll do a write-up, and that'll get sent out to the membership. And we'll have in that also the link for joining up for the next talk on the silver box. Is it silver box?
The money box, yeah.
Money box.
Yep. And what we'll do as well is we'll actually have the link for this presentation on YouTube. Yep. So don't worry if you missed out at the start or you want to use it as you go through setting up your Facebook page. You can actually go back in, watch the video, and it'll be there forever. So you can actually watch it as many times as you want, share it with friends if they're unsure of how to set Facebook up. And also the handout.
When you said that the demographics now are that, 62% of 65 and over, my 85-year-old uncle got a smart TV and called my cousin to see what channel Facebook was on. So he's not one of those that's on Facebook.
Well, my mum actually said to me today, "Can I get YouTube on my telly?" And I said, "Well, don't know.
Depends on the telly."
I know. Or maybe a cable box. I don't know. I meant to actually check, but oh,
too funny.
Goodness. So, no questions?
No.
Okay. So I think we'll sign off then. Just remember that the next talk's the 8th of April at 7 p.m. An interesting talk from Jim Anderson about the money box that he found and what it contains. So you'll need to tune in to find out actually what was in the box. Big mystery for the next 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. The details of that will be sent out in the next e-news, which I think is going out next week, early next week.
Yeah, good.
Well, that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us.
No problem. It's
been great.
Yeah, I'm hoping that some people will actually have a bash now and come and join the groups with us.
Yeah, for sure. And when you find us on those groups, you can post your questions there since you've been too shy to do it here.
Yeah. That's it. Go and join the groups, and if you get stuck, just comment and say, "Claire, Christine, how do I do this?
How do I do this?"
Yeah, use it as a kind of learning platform.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay, thanks so much, Claire.
Thanks, Christine. Bye everyone. Bye.